don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello there. Yeah, chapter 12, there are a few things I wish I would have changed. Description of their mental atmosphere, I would have liked to change that a little bit, because I introduced the fact that they can't see, yet Ash can see. I meant to address it as to what does he feel, what does his senses tell him, and I was going to go more into depth, but for some reason I thought see, and wrote see into the situation. Because Ash can feel his silhouette. Ash can feel his presence. Ash can feel the fact that he is a younger form. That he can feel all this. He can't see it, but I wrote it as if he can see it. I described Scale as if he was younger. I could have made you feel it, as his skin is not as wrinkled as his, things like that. I wish I would have changed a bit. I noticed in one spot I had too many people addressed to as man, when I should have actually had the overweight ruler be addressed to as gentleman, just because it sounds more appropriate, even though he's not exactly a gentleman. The speech, I could have gone more in depth with, and the speech ended, and a new person took Garrett Lord's place. Lord Garrett's place. Lord Garrett's. So I kind of got that backwards. So that's one thing I wish I would have changed as well. Where was the other bit? I know I just read something in the last bit. Oh yeah, where I talking about Byron taking a swig of his glass when he has a wooden mug. I should have just said a swig of his mug. I shouldn't have said glass, even though it kind of is interchangeable. That's one thing I was like, I should have noticed that. I should have gone more into detail on certain things, but it is what it is. I might need to actually do a revision and add what I need to add, because there's so many things I want to add to flesh it out more. But that'll be another time. Because in my mind, I have Byron talking to Ash drunkenly, but I don't exactly show it. I just have it in the dialogue. I don't do much with it. I could have fleshed it out a bit more. I could have shown a bit more, but I just have written dialogue. I don't really show it. And I don't tell it either, which is just as bad. So that's one of those things. I would have liked to have the biting cold, more about the weather around him, so you know the situation, that it keeps reminding you that it's freezing. Yeah. Other than that, I enjoyed it. There are parts where you can't tell if he's in his mind or not. I should have flushed it out a bit more. Parts where you can't tell who's talking. I know who's talking because I'm reading it, but as I'm reading it, I realize that the punctuation and everything, the pauses, aren't long enough to separate, and it sounds like literally the same person could be saying something, and I'm not doing good with voices. So it's just one of those things that I just like, I could have done it differently, but I don't want to do repeated he said, she said, they said, he said, he said, he said. It gets repetitive after a while. Keep doing said, retorted, queried, just things like that are just like, too much. But another short chapter. As the further you get on into the book, the shorter they become. Yeah, just because, yeah, they're getting shorter. Thank you all for listening. This was or watching. This is a recap on chapter 12. Little things I'd like to change here and there. I might need to do a revision, but hopefully book 2 won't have as many, as I will flush it out more. Hopefully my sci-fi book doesn't have that many. I mean, if you guys are reading on Wattpad, yes, it has errors, but hopefully you can follow along. Hopefully you can follow along. Like the whistling blades, things like that are very, very interesting. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Toodles.